It's Brian Preston, the Money Guy.
All right, let's move on to Mike's question. He says, if I have access to a Roth 403b and am maxing it out, do I still need a pre-tax bucket? I'm 31, single, and making about $140K a year. I'm already maxing HSA and backdoor Roth. So is a 2-bucket strategy viable? That's kind of the crux of what he's asking.
Because I was so excited to hear his income. I love hearing the financial mutant maxing out. What did he say about liquidity? Was he keeping a big cash reserves too, or no?
You know, he didn't say that specifically. So
he's 31. He's single. He makes $130,000. He's maxing out his Roth. He's maxing out his HSA. So that can give you a little bit. That tells you kind of where he's at. And then he wants to know, do I have to have a pre-tax bucket? We have a lot of people that fall into this category. They have the option and availability to build up a bunch of Roth assets. And so they have Roth assets and then after-tax assets. And their question is, do I need pre-tax? Do you guys talk about the three bucket strategy? Do I have to have that pre-tax bucket?
You'll naturally get it usually. It's kind of, even if you don't want pre-tax, it's like the stray dog that follows you home, and the fact that your employer, if there's any type of matching component or profit sharing component from your workplace retirement plan, it's always going to be pre-tax. So even if you are choosing all of your salary deferrals are going into Roth assets, which are tax-free, you'll still have likely some tax deferred from that match. And then don't forget, because he's 31, already making over $130,000 a year, there might become a chance also, Mike, that you're just going to make so much money per year that you'll weigh, what are the taxes that I pay right now and the tax rates I'm paying, especially if you live in a high tax state, plus your federal taxes, because marginal wise, meaning the top rate you're paying, if you add those two together, you might quickly find that you're paying close to 50% to taxes.
Sure.
And you're like, well, wait a minute. I know when I retire, especially if you retire before 72, say you retire in your 50s or even 60s, there might be a 10-year period plus where your income all of a sudden collapses on paper when you file your tax returns and you're in the super low tax bracket. You're like, well, that would be a great opportunity to do some Roth conversions. So I'm just saying, I think the long story short is that there might be an opportunity if you're in a super high tax bracket in the future that you have to really weigh, do I think my taxes will be low in retirement? I'd benefit from the tax savings currently. And then, Bo, I'm going to leave you some room to talk, but I also do not underestimate the value of having that after tax. That's why I was asking about the emergency reserves. I want you to be wealthy not only for retirement, but you have enough money and liquidity to get through no matter what life throws your way too.
Yeah, the 3 buckets often get filled out of opportunity or necessity. Now, that's not to say that if you're someone one day, because we see clients who do this, you sell a business for a couple $1,000,000 one day, the majority of your wealth is going to be in that after-tax bucket. That's okay. You don't have to have these 3 evenly distributed buckets. We have other clients who all of their money are in 401ks because they didn't find the Money Guy show until later on. And so if you got a couple $1,000,000 just in a 401k, but you can live off of that and pay the taxes, you're okay. The reason we advocate for the 3 buckets is so that you could have maximum flexibility. That no matter what happens with tax code or with whoever's controlling tax policy at that time, you get to have some control over your situation. But if right now the financial operations suggests that all of the assets you're building are tax-free through Roth, HSA, Roth 403b, and after tax through a brokerage account, that's okay. And if you make it all the way through your career and you just have those 2 buckets built up and well established, and those are the buckets that it made sense to accumulate in, that's okay. You are going to be just fine.
Probably a tax-free millionaire, hopefully.
Love it. Love it, love it.